sweet potato ravioli with sausage and apples coming up next here on the Idea Plate. First, we need to start our sweet potato puree for the ravioli. Chop 2 medium sweet potatoes into 1 to 2 inch pieces and place in boiling water for about 15 minutes. While those are boiling, let's make our sausage and apple filling. Brown 1 1/4 pounds of sweet Italian turkey sausage until no longer pink. Be sure to break up into small bits. Once the sausage is browned, remove from the pan and set aside. Add 1 to 2 teaspoons of olive oil to the pan and saute a 1/4 cup of thinly sliced shallots. When the shallots start to become translucent, add 2 Granny Smith apples that have been peeled and finely diced. Cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. As the apples begin to release their juices, add 1/3 cup of dried cranberries. Continue to cook until the apples have softened and begin to brown and the cranberries have partially rehydrated. Quick tip: if the apples are browning faster than the cranberries are rehydrating, add 2 tablespoons of water. This will temporarily reduce the browning of the apples, and the steam and liquid will help rehydrate the cranberries. When your shallots, apples, and cranberries are soft and slightly browned, add back your sausage and stir to incorporate. Cook for another 1 to 2 minutes and then remove from the heat source and allow to cool. Once cooled, stir in 1 cup of ricotta cheese and refrigerate until you're ready to fill your ravioli. Now the sweet potatoes should be done. Let's remove them from the heat and drain them in a colander. Quick tip: return the drained sweet potatoes to the pot and place on low heat for a few minutes. This will allow any excess water to continue to evaporate. This will ensure that your sweet potato puree will be nice and creamy and it won't be watery. Once the sweet potatoes have cooled to room temperature, place in a food processor and add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Then blend until smooth. Now we're ready to make our pasta. Start with 3 to 4 cups of flour. You can use all-purpose flour. In this video I'm using 00 flour. Make a well in the middle and add 1 1/2 cups of the sweet potato puree and 2 eggs. Whisk the eggs and sweet potatoes together while incorporating the flour. Continue to do this until your mixture has a thready appearance. Then grab a bench scraper and fold the mixture into the center. Once you have a workable dough, you'll have to knead this by hand. This recipe makes a fair amount of dough, so you're going to get a really good upper body workout. You'll probably have to knead this for about 15 minutes. Continue to add flour if the dough still seems moist. You want the dough to be tacky but not sticky. Continue to knead this until your dough has the consistency of an elastic Play-Doh. Once your dough's ready, wrap in plastic and let it sit at room temperature for 30 minutes. To roll out your pasta, cut the dough into 6 equal portions. Flour the workspace, the dough, and your rolling pin. Roll it out into small rectangles and then fold it into thirds. Turn it 90 degrees and repeat this step 2 more times. Roll your pasta out into a workable sheet that will cover your ravioli rack, but that's not so thin that it won't be able to hold the filling. Once you have 2 sheets rolled out, you're now ready to make your ravioli. We're using a ravioli mold that I got off of Amazon that costs less than $25. I'll leave a link in the description below. Quick tip: it's very important that you spray your ravioli mold with some cooking spray and then loosely add some flour. This will allow your raviolis to separate from the mold. Cover the ravioli tray with a sheet of pasta and gently press the mold onto the pasta and then remove. Now place 1 teaspoon of filling into each mold. It's very important that you brush some water onto the pasta around the filling so that the next sheet will adhere. Place the second sheet of pasta on top and gently roll into place. Continue to roll, applying a little pressure with each pass. Once you can see the tray edges from under the pasta, you're now ready to pull away the excess dough. Then flip and separate. I'm using a pastry wheel to make sure that the edges cut nice and clean. These turned out beautiful. You can speed up this process if you have a pasta roller. I have a KitchenAid standing mixer with a pasta attachment. Roll the pasta into workable rectangles. Then feed the pasta through the roller at the lowest setting. Fold into thirds, turn 90 degrees, and repeat this step 2 more times. Then feed the pasta through the roller, increasing the setting each time to reduce the thickness of the sheet. If you use this for making ravioli, I recommend going down to a setting of number 4. I've tried going as low as number 5, but the ravioli gets a little too thin to hold the filling. Now we're ready to cook our ravioli. All right, our raviolis turned out great.